Are you following Super Rugby Pacific? Stick around. I'll share my insights for round 9 and who's going to be vital for their teams this week. Hey everyone, it's Coach H here, and you've found Inspired by Union, a channel where I discuss Southern Hemisphere rugby. Let's dive right in. Well, here we are, Rugby Universe, Super Rugby Pacific, round 9. I'm going to share my insights on an absolute belter, the Blues versus the Brumbies at the Garden of Eden. I'm going to share who I think is important for each side. I'm also going to cover off the 3 other games over the weekend. The Blues versus the Brumbies. The Blues get a pass mark for the first 8 rounds of the season. But if that had put a marker in the ground, none better way than toppling the highest performing Australian side, the Brumbies. Last season, Larkham fielded an inexperienced side in order to rest players, but this week he's got all his eggs in the basket trying to secure a win offshore. I've been super impressed with Charlie Cale at number 8. It'll be essential viewing to watch him go up against a maturing Blues back row. Plummer and Lolosio will have a big impact on which way this game goes, and front football for either shot caller could go a long way to deciding the outcome of this one. I've got the Blues by 7. Fijian and Drua versus the Hurricanes. Coach Laidlaw has made a number of changes this week as the Hurricanes take on one of the toughest assignments in Super Rugby, a game in Fiji. However, they have lucked in by playing in Suva under lights. Whilst the humidity will still bite, they won't be in the harsh Lautoka sun. If the Canes can dominate at the source of contact, that will frustrate and deny possession to the likes of Marcy and Ravel Tamada. Regardless of the personnel changes in the pack, I believe the Hurricanes will have too much firepower for the home side. I've got the Canes by 5 and under. The Reds versus the Highlanders. The Landers were ultra disappointing last week. They come up against a hurting Red side, 2 desperate teams going at each other at Suncorp. Coach Kiss has made forced changes with McDermott and McRae both seeing red last week in Whangarei. The Reds started this year so well, but a bad period starting against dropping a game to the Force has seen them turn up at home this week, really needing a win to secure a spot in the 8. The Highlanders have also made changes, and Whakatava, who shouldered a heavy load this season, will start from the Pine. I've gone with the Reds by 5, mostly because they're at home. Western Force versus the Crusaders. These 2 sides are jostling in the battle for the wooden spoon, and worryingly for Saders fans, the Force have been a team known to upset the perennial winners. Kurtley Beale makes his Western Force debut after recently being stood down over some charges of a social nature of which he was found not guilty. The Crusaders have another week of facial hair tall growth. They'll be looking to emulate the great Crusaders sides that run amok on the high veld, sporting their 5 o'clock shadow, their dodgy moustaches, their Fu Manchus, their handlebars, and their Craig David Beard impersonations. I'm going with a draw at the end of regulation and golden point time. If you're finding these insights helpful, consider pressing the subscribe button and hitting that bell for more insights every week. Last chance saloon for a couple of teams to make a case for finals, and an opportunity for either side in Auckland to really put a marker in the ground. I'm Coach H. You've been watching Inspired by Union.